Welcome, jabronis. My name is Cass, and this is episode 4 of the Emotion Engine Enduro, the show where we play every PlayStation 2 racing game in alphabetical order and rate them on a scale from 0 to 100. Next up is Alfa Romeo Racing Italiano. Alfa Romeo Racing Italiano is a 2006 title developed by Milestone. Yes, that Milestone, from just about every motorcycle game in the last 10 years and the Hot Wheels Unleashed series. Europeans may have heard this called SCAR, Squadra Corse Alfa Romeo. I do want to start at the top as to why this game will always be remembered, and that's because it's the first racing game with a rewind function. Not Forza, not Dirt, not F1, Alfa Romeo Racing Italiano is the first. Milestone named this the Tiger Effect for whatever reason, and honestly, it does feel like it's the first game to ever have a rewind function. You have a little tiger logo in the bottom right corner of the screen that will light up and play a little sound when it's available. You press the button to activate it, and it'll slowly take you back a few seconds. The amount of time it rewinds is so short that it can be useless in most cases. You really have to be quick on the draw when you use it, and you kind of don't get a second chance at it, because once you use it, it does like slowly build up throughout the race, but it takes a couple laps to get it back, so you don't get to use it very often. I will give them a ton of credit for the ingenuity in crafting this feature that would pretty much become standard in every arcade and simcade racer, but it is pretty flawed. The other interesting idea is the RPG mechanics that they added. When you level up, you can choose between 9 different perks to level. These can range from how much Tiger Effect you have to how fast your driver can accelerate the car, which kind of just feels like a way out of having car customization, which was thought of as almost standard at this point. You can also unlock driver gear, which will also give you a boost to these stats. Now, as you go through the Dynasty mode... Dynasty? Yeah, they call the career mode Dynasty for whatever reason. The AI in there will actually level up with you. However, I found if you just spec into acceleration and handling, you'll absolutely dog walk the AI. Most of the other perks available are around your focus and your intimidation factors that they added to the game. Focus is kind of like your driver's stamina. If you run out of it with the AI trailing close behind you, your screen will get all kind of blurry and hear anything going on. It's kind of meant as like a thing to distract you or to make you force an error, but the car does continue to drive exactly the same. So as long as you're hitting your braking points, it honestly becomes a useless feature and never messed with my race a single time. On the flip side of that, you do have intimidation. This is basically your ability to take down an AI's focus. If you do get rid of all their focus, it'll cause a knockout, and the AI will swerve a little bit all over the road. I've only seen this Induso error once, and it actually caused them to run directly into me and ruin my race. So I kind of avoided doing it out of like PTSD from that. I will give Milestone some credit for these RPG elements. They are fairly unique, and there wasn't a lot like this at the time, but they ultimately just kind of fall flat, if not end up being a detriment to you when they're supposed to help you. These are also the only things for keeping this game from being absolutely abysmal dog shit. Those two things out of the way, I do want to go over the rest of the game. To be perfectly blunt, the rest of the game is just a cookie-cutter track racer. I don't want to say shovelware, but if we take out the RPG elements and the Tiger Effect, I don't think we're that far off. The meat of this game is going to take part inside Dynasty. You're going to see tours, challenges, and Time Assault, which is just Time Attack with a funny name. Once you go inside tours, we'll see 5 available. You'll have the rookie unlocked at the start. Go inside it, select a race, win the race, repeat a whole bunch of times. Oh, and don't forget, this is a manufacturer-specific game, so get used to driving a front-wheel drive Alfa that has a Buso V6 in it constantly. Each tour you unlock will have slightly faster cars and slightly longer races, but the formula never changes. It wears on you so quickly. The thing that gets me about each tour is that once you go inside one, you will see a bunch of different types of events available. However, other than some giving you level XP, some giving you driver gear, they're actually all identical. They're all just lap races in front-wheel drive Alphas. There's not actually any variety here. It's kind of like an illusion of variety, if anything. The other mode to note here is the challenges. You will again see 5 different levels available, and each level will contain the same 5 challenges: Speed Track, Top Limit, Clean Drive, Chase, and Escape. In the higher levels, they will mix up the cars and tracks that are available, but it's the same 5 events again. And none of the events are particularly unique to this game, they just have funny names. It really felt like they just made this game and hit copy-paste a bunch of times, just to give you more stuff to do. And touching on the physics and handling really quick, it's fine. It's definitely more of a simcade feeling of a game, but it has an oddity that the front-wheel drive cars have a fuck ton of oversteer, and like not front-wheel drive touring cars, like just normal street cars. It takes a little bit to get used to, but it can make binning it just feel completely random at times. Once you have a feel for it, the cars are okay to drive, like not particularly bad, but not particularly great. They do end up feeling a little more lively like Gran Turismo 3 or Enthusia, but they are less predictable. AI in this game is another place where I feel like they just missed the mark. Once the field is strung out, they drive fine, if not on the slow side. At the race start, however, it's constant chaos. They will slam on the brakes at random times, and sometimes forget a car is next to them. You really need to watch out for them hitting the brakes too, because if you touch them, even going a couple miles an hour faster, the game kind of pings you off to the side, and you lose control of your steering for like a split second. It kind of does feel like an anti-kill the AI feature, so you do have to race them, but it can get very frustrating. Honestly, the T1 Monza memes are just this game at the start of every single race. Lastly, I wanted to touch on the car list. There are 30 cars available, which of course are all Alfa Romeos. You have a lot of modern, of-the-time street cars, European Touring Car Championship vehicles available, a few concepts, and there's a good amount of classics available as well. In the time I played the game, there is never a single classic Alpha available for an event, and I only ever got to touch 2 race cars. I got to touch the 147 Cup 2 times in Dynasty, and the 155 DTM 1 time in Challenge. None of the older Alphas were ever available, even in instant action, because you unlock them by playing the Dynasty, which doesn't use them. It was almost entirely front-wheel drive, Buso-powered Alfa Romeos, which did not help the constant repetition of this game at all. Editing cast coming at you. I'm sure at some point a classic Alpha would have popped up, but I played this game about 3.5 hours and I never touched one. Frankly, with 30 different Alphas in the game and all the classic cars that are available, that's too long. We should have had something pop up by this point. Alfa Romeo Racing Italiano is a game that at the end of the day, I just wanted to stop playing. Fun is something I tend to bring up at the end because I can't quantify fun. I can't explain my fun of playing a game, but this is a game that I did not have fun playing. Maybe for the first few races I was, but very quickly that fun completely ran out and I just wanted to be playing anything else. Alfa Romeo Racing Italiano gets a 47 out of 100. It may be the innovator of the rewind function. The RPG elements may be pretty unique, and those two things do give it some brownie points. However, at the end of the day, it's an incredibly repetitive arcade racer that honestly borderlines on shovelware. Thank you all so much for sticking through episode 4 of the Emotion Engine Enduro with me. This is one that honestly I was kind of excited about and then pretty let down throughout playing this game. We will be doing episode 5 here fairly shortly, so if you're not already, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss it. We also live stream each episode right here on YouTube or right over on twitch.tv/COisNOTpog. Again, thank you all so much. Episode 5 will be, oh no.